Burnley.
Has anyone seen the Eagles? Simon Jordan, Mark Bright, can you hear me, Brighton? Your boys took with a hell of a beating on the Glasner. Wilfred Zaha, Ian Imo, can you hear me, Imo? Your boys took with a hell of a beat. The signs things behind Selhurst Park. Mark Gay, Eddie the Eagle, Pards, can you hear me, Pards? Your boys took with a hell of a beating. James the In-Betweeners, South Croydon train station, Brighty, Salako, can you hear me, Eagles? Your boys took with a hell of a beating.
Tons of Premier League action to get through tonight, all live across the talkSPORT network. Liverpool have just become the first team to win the Stadium of Light this season. The quad is on. Palace, absolute shambles. They've just thrown away a massive 3 points against Burnley. There's one win in 14 games. Wow, ridiculous from Glasner. Forest had to win tonight, and they didn't. Informed West Ham just 3 points behind you. You must be worried. Could Sean Dyche get the sack? Man City get the pressure up on Arsenal. Big win for them. Phil Foden, though, probably should have got sent off. Thomas Frank is gone. Finally, Spurs have 11 days now to prepare to stop Arsenal's title challenge. Who comes in? Get involved in the show. 03 717 22 33 44.
What is on?
Hello, mate.
Yo.
How are you?
I'm all right, matey. Your club disgracing the Premier League again.
Well,
honestly,
let's not go.
You lot.
What about?
It's just.
What about?
Honestly, it's like, but it's a bunch of clowns.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. Jordan, good morning.
Good morning.
I will double task here because in my ear I'm hearing what? The FA have just announced, that's the official announcement, that Thomas Tuchel has signed a new contract that keeps him in the England job until 2028. So that is beyond the Euros, Simon, which, as you and I know, are hosted in this country. So I wonder why they're doing this. I wonder why they're saying, Thomas, put pen to paper for us. Here's the deal. Because up until now, it was our understanding. Well, not our understanding. It was a matter of fact. He was there until the end of the World Cup.
Yeah. He was brought in to win the World Cup.
It was World Cup or bust. That's right.
Maybe he wasn't. And maybe there's a need for stability and continuity in the England manager's job because that's the bedrock of football. I would have thought that the nature of him getting another contract must have been based upon doing something significant in the actual tournament, because he wasn't brought in to qualify us. Because with due respect, we can get Elmer Fudd to do that in the qualifying group that we're in, right? We need someone that can take us into a tournament and do something better than the previous manager did, and he got close. And he's done the same thing as the previous manager did, which was stroll through the qualifying. And yes, there's much more to Thomas Tuchel. And yes, we can see the green shoots of someone that really knows how to prepare an international team. But if we're in the business of participating and not winning, then why are we going with the territory of giving him a new contract? Unless there's some motivation behind it that we have yet to see, that they believe emphatically in the Thomas Tuchel vision and don't see any necessity to leave any doubt, don't want him to be taken out of the international equation because they want him, they believe in him emphatically. And if that's the case, then you say, okay, fair enough, but what are you basing it upon? Because it wasn't so long ago, maybe 8-9 months ago, that people were questioning England, questioning the style of play. Our performances were a little bit turgid, and then all of a sudden, we've hit our groove.
Yes.
And we've got going. But we've got going against lesser opposition, and I don't understand it, but I don't have a particular problem with it because I think he's a very good manager.
Yeah, well, the FA chief exec, Mark Bullingham, I think I had a conversation with Mark in Germany at the Euros.
That was enlightening.
I think I did. On Tuchel's new deal until 2028. He was the right person for the job when he joined us for the World Cup campaign, and he's only strengthened his reputation across the qualifiers.
How?
There is simply no better candidate available in world football.
So would that change then?
So the qualifiers. Albania, Serbia, Latvia, and Andorra.
I mean, pack it in.
Then 2 friendlies, Senegal and Wales.
I mean, pack it in. I mean, this is not elite opposition. I mean, he's an elite manager in my view. He's a difficult customer, and managing him at international level is probably a damn sight easier than managing him at domestic level, as has proven to be the case by every club that he's been in, his his services, Bayern, PSG, Chelsea, and so on. Right? But at international level, you've probably got to deal with him a lot less, so you haven't got to deal with some of the challenges that he may bring. But there's no doubt he's an elite coach, and I like the fact that the players know precisely and concisely where they stand.
Yeah.
But he has done nothing yet. His job, in my view, was to go in and win the World Cup. Now, we know that the difficulty of winning the World Cup in America, it comes with the climate, and it favours perhaps the South Americans and the Spanish because they're built for those sort of climates. But notwithstanding that, his job was to get England past a team in a tournament that we're not on paper favourites to beat. And until he does that, why has he been given a new contract? Now, I understand that these guys say he's the best one in class. By your measurement, and who are you? What have you done that's so wonderful? Because I look at the FA, which I think is a clown college of underperforming people that don't govern the domestic game, have abdicated that responsibility, and have got very little right, besides some optics now, because Gareth Southgate was popular with the British media.
Do you think in any way, Simon, this could be stay away Manchester United?
Maybe.
And don't have Tuchel sign anything before he goes to the World Cup in the USA?
I mean, maybe. It's interesting that Tuchel wants it. It's interesting that Tuchel has taken that direction of travel, because it tells you something about where he sees himself in his career. Because these managers at domestic level are far different than international managers, because the domestic managers are applying themselves on a daily, weekly, hourly basis to the next task in hand. As an elite manager, they've got so many games in front of them, so many things to manage, that they're very, very busy and very focused and driven.
Yeah.
And it requires a certain motivated person to do it. He obviously doesn't see himself in that role again, because the England manager's job, 6, 7 games a year? It's a whole different ballgame. I'm not criticising it. I'm not saying that it's valueless. I'm not disputing how much he should get paid. I'm not arguing that point. I'm saying I felt that Thomas Tuchel wanted to be at the coalface. Clearly he doesn't. So if he's prepared to sign for England for another 3 years, then what are you pushing him away from? Because he's already halfway there. Because if he wanted to be a busy manager and be at the coalface, he'd be there.
That's right. That's right. Should we be that surprised, though? Because when he spoke to talkSPORT last year, he was telling us how much he loved the England job and also how he'd be keen to extend his deal.
I will always be tempted to stay, because I love the group and I love the opportunity. It's an honor to be English head coach. I know what's coming after a huge tournament in England. I will always be tempted. Like I said, I feel that I'm in the right place. I enjoy to be where I am at the moment. I love the new challenge. I wanted a new challenge. I wanted a new environment. I feel the support. I feel the trust and the respect of the people in the federation. I love the group of players. I want to push them, and it just feels right. So yeah, clear yes from my side until today.
Simon, what happens if Tuchel and England in the USA
stink it out,
say go out in the quarterfinals? Exactly. Not maybe stink it out, but go out at a stage.
Well, what happens if they stink it out?
Will disappoint the English nation.
Well, that's the risk you take, isn't it?
Well, and everyone's going, oh, God, we've got this guy.
That's the risk-reward calculation I'm assuming the geniuses at the FA have weighed up and looked at and gone, well, we are confident that we're not going to have a problem in our hands as a result of our participation in the World Cup. So we're so confident that we're going to give somebody who's come in and done the exact same job as our predecessors have done a longer-term contract. I have mixed emotions about trying to compartmentalize people into moments in time, but surely if you could do it to Venables in the mid-90s and make him only a one tournament manager. I know there was a lot outside of the arena in terms of his business affairs that created problems for the weak-willed FA that couldn't see past it and just look at him as a football manager. I believe they should be driven by tournaments, because this is the cycle that they're in, and the only thing that should be meriting a new contract, in my view, for England is a wonderful performance in a tournament.
Or maybe even if he just won the World Cup, then give him the bumper deal.
I'm going to give him. He'll have got that anyway. Don't worry. I'm going to give him latitude and a bit of wiggle room in there. But I'm going to say a wonderful performance in a tournament, because I don't mind if they play a resurgent Brazil in the semi-finals and get beat by a 94th minute penalty that no one saw coming. I can live with that.
Yeah,
I can live with that. I prefer to see a victory, but I can live with not noble failure, but England going toe-to-toe and really turning it on and being unlucky. And I go, do you know what? That's a moment in time.
Yeah.
Fortune favours the brave. But the idea that you reward somebody for doing what you brought him in to do. What did you bring him in to do? You brought him in to bleed and qualify in a group that anyone could have gone through. So you reward him. I mean, I find it difficult. Maybe I'm just a miserable old sod. I find it difficult to look at that and go, well, that's a wonderful set of thinking from the FA. Because I have little regard for them anyway. I think most of them are bleeding useless in there and they shouldn't have the jobs that they have. But Tuchel, I hope he does well.
Good morning, Mr. Billingham.
I hope, well, specifically him. I hope for us that Tuchel does well.
Yes.
I hope he does well.
I'm a bit baffled. He's strengthened his reputation across the qualifiers. Is it just me? Albania, Serbia, Latvia, Andorra. I wonder if, Simon, in any way, is this bad news for Eddie Howe? Because so often spoken about in the same breath as Eddie, the next England manager. Often touted as the next England manager.
Well, I don't know.
Now it's a back seat until 2028.
I think Eddie Howe is fully focused on trying to achieve things with Newcastle. And of course, as an Englishman, I would imagine most Englishmen want to, at some stage in their career, have the ultimate honour of managing their country. I mean, we missed out on arguably the greatest manager that could have managed England with Brian Clough because of the political ramifications of what he may or may not have said. We lost an excellent coach at international level in Terry Venables because the FA and people like Bert Milicic were too entranced in their ways about what was happening off the field rather than whether he's a good coach. But Eddie Howe is still a very young manager. And I think that these managers, what's he in his mid-40s now? Mid to late 40s.
Yeah.
What's Tuchel in his early 50s? So if you find yourself in a situation where Eddie Howe, and Tuchel has won things. He's managed big clubs. He's managed PSG. He's managed Bayern. He's managed Chelsea. He's won things. Eddie's still got that journey to go on.
Yeah.
And more often than not, when you land in the international in the international world, you don't tend to come back to domestic football. And I know there's exceptions. I understand there's exceptions. But the predominant rule is it's a slightly older man's job at a slightly different stage in his career. But there's no orthodoxy. It's getting rewritten because Pochettino may well come back to Spurs if you're to believe what the direction of travel.
No noise whatsoever, Scotland. We're quietly getting organised to play Haiti.
You know, you're coming back and.
Hi, there he is.
Hey,
There he is.
Hey, up the shelf.
Yeah. So I've only got the top.
Get me on.
No, I've only got the table. Only got the top 5 here, Mo. In the table.
Listen, Candy. I've got some breaking news. I've got some breaking news for Jimmy G. Jimmy G, I've got some breaking news for you, lad.
Come on.
Guess what? My sources are reporting tonight that Arne Slot has been approached by Tottenham Hotspur.
talkSPORT breaking news.
Sorry, who?
Now,
Who?
Arne Slot, my manager, the Premier League winning manager, Tottenham like him. They want him to come and build a side to win Jimmy G the Premier League. Am I correct, Jimmy G?
100% Mo, mate. You do come on here and talk some garbage, but this is up there, all right? You're coming on talking absolute nonsense.
Jimmy G, listen. It's the truth, man. What do you mean garbage?
Your sources, mate, they're
Listen,
probably
Jimmy,
up there with the worst
you know
sources
what?
ever.
You need to apologise to me and my sources when this happens. I'm telling you. Because, look, Spurs are back, yeah?
Spurs are back, mate. We're ready to go again.
Back, yeah? And at the end of the day, like Candy says, what is it, Candy? To do what to do?
No,
What do you
the
normally
dare is to
say?
do nothing. They
That's
do
it.
nothing.
That's
What about
it.
your mob,
They
though,
want a
mate? It's a
Premier
good
League
result tonight. Is the quad back on? Is it?
What is on? Listen, stop taking Mick out of my quad. Yeah, quad is for next year. The double's on this year. The double. What a performance by the champions! What a performance by the champions! Nobody's gone to Roker Park and anywhere.
Roker Park?
Sorry,
What year?
Stadium Live.
1985?
Morning, Alex.
Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Now, where do you want to start, Alex? Should we start with Tuchel and then go on to the managers who've lost their job?
Deserved new deal.
I don't get this, me personally, but that's just me.
Do you know what? I think Gabby hit the nail on the head. I was listening when you were talking about the story first reported in the Times that Thomas Tuchel is going to stay on as England manager until 2028. That announcement, by the way, could come from the FA officially as early as this morning, I'm told. I think when Gabby said that maybe the FA got wind of the fact that Thomas Tuchel was on the radar of Premier League clubs, not least Manchester United, I think that's why contract talks have accelerated. I'm not against it, to be honest. I think it takes away the uncertainty. Thomas Tuchel can focus now on trying to win the World Cup, but it's no longer the be-all and end-all. He won't be judged solely on what happens in North America in the summer, because let's be honest, given the climate, given the strength of some of the other sides around the world, I think it's going to be difficult for England to win this World Cup. And if you're judging Thomas Tuchel's tenure purely if he delivers the first silverware since 1966, that is an awful lot of pressure.
Why do you think it's going to be difficult with
Come on,
the
Crookie. You
squad they have?
can't use the climate. Come on.
Of course you can. England have struggled.
So let's go to a World Cup where it's like where it's like cold, and that's when we can win it.
It's a factor. It suits the likes of Brazil and Argentina and even Spain more than it does England, and winning a World Cup is difficult. We've not done it since 1966.
But that's what he's been brought in to do, to win. I mean, like we do in this country, reward failure. You know, we knighted Gareth Southgate. So Gareth Southgate, if we're not winning anything, what's the world coming to?
I don't think Thomas Tuchel has failed, has he? I mean, listen, it wasn't the most difficult
I'm not saying he has.
campaign in the world, but they absolutely cruised through qualifying.
But he hasn't succeeded yet, and we're giving him a new deal.
I expect them to go deep into the draw, but I think if they get to a quarter-final, that would probably be par. I think if they get to a semi-final, that would be success. If they get to the final or even win it, that would be beyond our wildest dreams, wouldn't it?
Quarter-final, you'd be
a success.
If they went out
Crookie, you're part of the problem, Crookie.
Quarter-finals par, I think. You know, I mean, Gareth Southgate, to be fair to him, I wasn't his biggest fan, but he set such high standards, didn't he? Getting to 2 European Championship finals, a World Cup semi-final. It was never going to be easy for whoever replaced him.
Do you not think the squad he's got to pick from is a manager's dream?
Yes, but I would argue we've had better squads in the past. I think the golden generation, the likes of Lampard, Gerrard, Ashley Cole, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, I think that was a better team. I think that you look at England's defence, we don't know who the first choice centre-backs are going to be yet. We've got an issue at left-back. We haven't really got an understudy for Harry Kane. So I don't think this is the best.
So when can we win the World Cup then, Crookie? The one afterwards is where? Is it Spain, Portugal, Morocco? Is that too hot? Do you have to wait till it's in Finland, Denmark, Norway?
You're being a bit simplistic here. I'm just saying, part of the reason we've been successful in recent tournaments is because under Gareth Southgate, we didn't really have expectation. We didn't burden down the players with the fact we have to win this tournament. And I think maybe if we go into the summer with that attitude, as opposed to, well, we've got to win this.
What about Tottenham?
Do you know what? It's the 12th of February. Manchester United have fired their manager. Chelsea have fired their manager. Real Madrid have fired their manager, all since New Year's Day, by the way. Tottenham have fired their manager. And now Nottingham Forest are looking for their fourth manager of the season. I've never experienced anything quite like this. In terms of Forest, I reported at the weekend that Sean Dyche was under huge pressure. Obviously, it was a really disappointing result live on talkSPORT on Friday against Leeds. We know that Evangelos Marinakis is a volatile character. He was visibly furious in the director's box last night as Forest had 30-odd shots without managing a goal against the bottom team in the league. My understanding is that there was a meeting between Marinakis and 4 or 5 senior Forest players immediately after the game, which concerns were expressed about Sean Dyche's playing style and his training methods as well.
Playing style, did 30 shots.
35.
35 shots, playing style.
Yeah.
What, they after 70 shots?
This is just what I'm told this morning, Al. Sean Dyche was then summoned, I think, back to the City ground, relieved of his duties. And it looks like Vitor Pereira, former Wolves manager, someone who's worked with Marinakis previously at Olympiacos, albeit only for 6 months, but that seems to be about the shelf life. He is the front runner. And that's a gamble because he did really well when he first came in at Wolves, kept them in the Premier League, but it didn't end well for
Crookie,
Pereira.
do you know who's got the highest win percentage of any manager that Marinakis has brought in? Sean Dyche.
Is that right? Well,
he's won 10, hasn't he? Lost 10, won 10.
And he was manager of a month, wasn't he, for January,
Incredible.
which seems to be a bit of a curse. They've not lost many games recently, but they've not won many either. And do you know what the biggest issue here is? We know that Marinakis is someone whose pride is easily dented. I think his nightmare scenario, and it's been a nightmare season, really. He's made bad decision after bad decision, was Nuno keeping West Ham up and sending Forest down.
Wouldn't it be nice if West Ham played Forest on the last day of the season and Nuno wins and Forest go down? Wouldn't that be something for karma?
It would be incredible, wouldn't it? But genuinely, I think that's come into his thinking. The dream ticket, as far as Marinakis is concerned, by the way, is Marco Silva, whose contract at Fulham is up in the summer. But
so
I don't see him jumping ship now.
Quick one on Spurs.
Again, I think the writing's been on the wall for a long time for Thomas Frank. I feel for him because I think he's a good coach. He's a good guy. Maybe this was just too big a step up for him, but I think the players have to take a lot of responsibility as well. In terms of who's next for Tottenham, there's talk of Roberto De Zerbi. Obviously, he's available, having just left Marseille this week. Will he take the job mid-season? Will he want a sabbatical? I think those are the questions that Spurs are going to be asking in the not-too-distant future. They've got this love-in with Mauricio Pochettino. The fans have been singing his name. I don't think he would leave the USA before the World Cup. So do they bring in a Michael Carrick-style interim? What I am told is they want to have someone in place by the time the players return for training on Monday in order to attack these last 12 games of the season, because they are in a relegation fight. I don't know what you guys think, by the way. Tottenham players being given 5 days off on the back of a defeat to Newcastle. Yeah. I'm sure that looks great.
Stressful, mate. Stressful job, footballer, Crookie. Need our rest.
I don't mind a couple of days off to clear your mind. Say, look, it's not good enough. Do you want to play in the Championship this year or not? 5 days too much.
5 days in Dubai, Al? Don't fancy that?
No. 2 days off, get away, just chill out at home and think about your game. Think about, can I do more? Not 5 days.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, they certainly can do more. You know, as much as Thomas Frank made errors along the way, this dressing room is a problem for whoever comes in.
Yeah, I hope it's not too hot for them if they've gone away.
I know.
It's too hot for you. You're not going, are you, Gabs?
Get lost, Crookie.
Then he just walked in. He said, look, he likes what you said there. Come in, you've got an extra 2 years as well. Right, coming up, we turn our attention to a huge weekend of FA Cup action and managerless Wigan heading to Arsenal. Ooh, the captain joins us next, and we'll bring you plenty more on the big news coming in this morning. Sean Dyche is out, sacked by Forest, and Thomas Tuchel is signing a contract extension with England till 2028.
My view of punditry is when I listen to a pundit, whoever that pundit might be, whatever they may be, whether it's male, female, black, white, yellow, green, it's do I learn something from them? Do they engage me? Do I find them interesting and entertaining? And do they merit my attention? And that's my response to the reasons why I was saying the things I said.
He's sitting right beside you.
Yeah, I you know, it's an opinion, isn't it? Which we're all entitled to. I put value on opinions. right? You have to, because there's, you know,
Depends where they come from, right?
everybody has them, right? So I'm not going to listen to a mob on X who've never, ever put themselves in any situation to do anything close to what I've done in my career. I listen to the professionals, right? I listen to the people who've hired me for the last 11 years around the world, the biggest broadcasters in the world. By default, if I'm working with the people who are considered the brilliant broadcasters, then if I'm in the same team as them, next to them, then by default, I'm considered also a brilliant broadcaster. So I take everything you're saying, but the reality is I've been good enough for 11 years, right? And as I said, I'm the person that will go and seek out feedback for someone to go, I think you're struggling. It's never happened.
See, the language that you use, Annie, is, to me, it's steeped in a sense of entitlement. I mean, the sheer weight of the entitlement that you seem to believe that you have would resink the Titanic. I think you've been quite fortuitous. I think because of initiatives like DEI, they've allowed people to be put into positions in the men's game that I don't think they've merited. And now that sort of seeds an attitude that you become a stalwart in the women's game.
The man at the top at Manchester United, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, claims the UK has been colonised by immigrants. Condemned by fan groups, anti-discrimination charities and the Prime Minister, should Sir Jim now apologise? Because how important is neutrality to the public brand and the image that you represent? Well, let's hear it. Speaking to Sky News, United's co-owner Sir Jim had this to say about the UK.
You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits and huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonised. It's costing too much money. It will cause...
It's been colonised?
It'll cause... Well, yeah. The UK is being colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a kind of a good government if they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and I think he's got good intentions, but in a way you could say exactly the same about Keir when Keir came in. I think it needs somebody who's prepared to be unpopular for a period of time to get the big issues sorted out, would be my view.
So the key here is colonised by immigrants. Mm-hmm. Does Sir Jim need to apologise? Do we need to hear from Manchester United? Do we need to hear maybe from Gary Neville? Manchester United's co-owner Sir Jim has been condemned by fan groups, as I said, but he's been widely condemned. Keir Starmer, it's offensive and wrong. Britain is a proud, tolerant and diverse country. Sir Jim should apologise. Ed Davey, leader of the Liberal Democrats, totally wrong, totally out of step with British values. He should apologise now. Even the Manchester United Supporters Trust. Manchester United belongs to all of its supporters. No fan should feel excluded from following or supporting the club because of race, religion, nationality or background. So Simon...
But he didn't say any of that.
Well, let me put this to you. If you're going to make an argument, surely you get your numbers right.
Yeah.
So that would help. So his take is flawed right from the start.
Yep.
The population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people. That's according to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Now it's 70 million. Before it was 58. That's 12 million people.
Yeah.
He's listing the population in 2020 with the number from the year 2000.
Yeah, those numbers wrong.
So the Office of National Statistics estimates that the population of the UK was 67 million in mid-2020 and 70 million in mid-2024.
Yeah, he's got his numbers wrong.
So that's 3 million of a difference, not 12 million. So we need to put Sir Jim right about that.
Yeah.
He talks about economic strain in the UK. This is Ratcliffe, one of Britain's richest men, who moved his primary residence to the tax haven of Monaco in 2020. United's website, meantime, celebrates the fact that Manchester is a city famed for its embrace of immigrants. Mm-hmm. So tell me, after you've heard Sir Jim talking on Sky News, what's your reaction?
So let's pare this back a little bit. I think the term of colonisation is probably clumsy. But if you look at the underlying sentiment, put aside the analysis that he's misquoted some figures, because the population in 2000 was 58 million. The population in the UK is 70 million in 2025, which means we've had a 21% increase, 20 to 21% increase in our population. The population of Europe has gone from 728 million to 744 million, which means Europe as a continent has had a 2% increase in population. You then distill down the German population increase, the Italian, the Spanish, the French. No one has had a population explosion like we have. So to go to the sentiment about the population, irrespective of whether he said 2020 or 2000, he is right. The population explosion, however it's manifested itself, has created a strain on this country. Then you go to the sentiment of the open border policy that various governments have deployed in regards to people coming into this country, and you look at that and see the challenge. So he's not wrong to say 9 million people on benefits on the welfare state is a challenge for this country. He's not wrong to say that foreign-born residents of this country...
Breakthrough at Brentford. It's Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. Launched it into the middle of the penalty area, and it comes to the far post, and it's headed home by Keane Lewis Potter. He doesn't miss this header, and Keane Lewis Potter is there to steer it home. It's 1-1. Thiago, he's inside the area, right-footed, latches it over the bar. Should have had another. What an absolutely fantastic end to a super contest. The headlines will be about Arsenal dropping points at the bus stop in Hounslow. Brentford 1, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, massive result for Brentford. Disappointing one for Arsenal. Let's go to George. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, George.
All right, Georgie.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
All right, matey.
All right, George. You been at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. Just cycled back, and yeah, it's just miserable.
What do you mean cycled back? What do you mean? Sorry, would you say cycled back?
Cycled on a bicycle.
I know what you don't live in North London?
No, I live in West London.
How far's the ride?
Oh, 5 miles, 5.3 miles probably.
So you're home now?
What did you get on a line bike or something? Or you take your own bike?
Line bike. Other bikes can be used, but line bike, and just got home.
Yeah, it's not really cycling that though, is it? It's not an Uber. It's like getting in a taxi.
Yeah,
it's cheap.
I mean, I mean, like,
anyway, you're home safe and sound. That's the good news.
I am. I'm outside home. I don't want to wake up my baby, but yeah. I mean, basically, we've been doing this for weeks upon weeks, just creating zero chances, no energy, no transitions, no exciting football, and we're going to get found out. We have been found out, and unless we change, and I thought losing to United was going to be that change, finally taking off the handbrake. But it's the same again, and it's just going to keep on happening. And you know, City getting back to winning ways, it's scary to look at now. But yeah, there's just...
You worried? You worried?
Yeah, very worried, very worried. I think the irony is, I think Arteta is one of the best managers to grace the Premier League for a long time. I think if anyone can, and I just think we just need to play...
Sorry, say that again. What did you say? Just say that? Arteta's one of the greatest managers to ever come into the Premier League?
Yeah, can you not hear this evening?
But what are you on about? He ain't won that. He ain't won nothing.
No, but you know, he's a young manager. Wenger came second 3 years on the trot, and then he won the league. You got to give these guys time. And you know, I think
you just said you've been found out.
Yeah.
So sorry. Do you say that Arteta's one of the greatest managers to grace the Premier League, or recent? I missed what you said. What did you say?
I said Arteta is one of the best managers.
Yeah.
He's come into a club.
Yeah.
I don't know which one of you are talking, but one of you is a Tottenham fan.
No, go on. But I want to know what you said.
He's come into the club. He's changed the culture of the club from something which was...
Yeah, listen, just say what you said.
Well, I can't remember what I said now.
I can't remember what you said. You said it. Did you say he's one of the greatest managers to grace the Premier League?
Yes, I did. Like what?
One of the greatest. One of the greatest.
Yeah.
To grace the Premier League.
Yeah. Shall I say it again and then you question me whether I said it again?
Yeah. Do it. Say it.
Yeah. He's one of the greatest managers.
No, that's not what you said.
The Premier League.
You said managers. You said managers. Anyway, let's get away from that because...
No, I want him to say it again.
No. Well, listen, Georgie wants to... Because on one sense, you're saying he's one of the greatest managers in the Premier League.
To grace
the Premier League. And then you're saying you've been found out.
No, I'm saying that the strategy that we've had so far, in terms of the way that we're playing the game, in terms of the inverted left back, inverted right back, in terms of chucking as many players into the attacking zones as possible, right wing, left-footed, left wing, right-footed. It's what it is. It's got us to the top of the league. It's not creating the chances anymore. It's not creating the shots on goal. We need to change that strategy. A great manager can see a problem. And
but you just say he's one of the greatest.
So do you think he can change it?
Gee, yeah, I think he can, and I think we can.
Okay.
And whoever keeps saying, I said he's one of the greatest, that is what I said. So you can keep saying that time and time and time again. The answer will always be yes. I did say that.
What if he doesn't win it this year?
If he doesn't win it this year...
Will you retract that statement?
I'll come back on
George,
the show.
George, wait there because we've got to go to the G-Tech. Keith Andrews is with Sam Matterface.
Keith, the hard-fire song that blasts out at the end of the game is called Hard to Beat, and you certainly have been over the course of the season here. Many have found that. Where does that performance against Arsenal rank?
Yeah, listen, I rate them extremely high. I've got the utmost respect for Mikel, the way he sets the team up. I've watched a lot of Arsenal down through the years. I've watched a lot of them, obviously, in the build-up to this game, and I haven't seen many teams play like that against Arsenal.
How much easier would it have been for you to attack them in the last few minutes of the game had Gabriel been sent off for what could have been a second yellow card? What did you think?
To attack them without one of the best defenders in the Premier League would have been a little easier. I think it's a second yellow. I think it's pretty blatant. Yeah, disappointed with the decision, clearly, because that would have given us, whatever it was, 16, 17 minutes maybe, playing against 10 men.
Did you get an explanation as to why it wasn't a second yellow?
Yeah, I asked, but I have to be honest, I wasn't listening particularly intently. I just felt it was a poor decision, really.
Defensively, some heroic performances. Your goalkeeper makes a brilliant save as well from Martinelli. How impressed are you that you've managed to shut out a team that are the second top goal scorers and restrict them to very few opportunities?
Yeah, I think that was the only real one where we got a little bit dragged into positions where we weren't quite set. I don't remember exactly what was happening before that because there was a lot going on, but yeah, I thought we defended brilliantly. Whether we pressed aggressively high, when we dropped back in to deny space, the compactness, the aggression, the intent, constantly communicating, stopping some pretty special players because that's what they have. So to restrict them to very few opportunities, I think it was 2 on target, is a very, very good defensive display.
You've got an amazing record here. You've got an amazing set of results here against top teams. Not many escape here taking even a point, let alone 3. What's the recipe for success with that? And are you surprised about how much buy-in you've got from your players? Because it all looks very together.
I think it is, yeah. We've grown as the season's gone on, obviously. I said from the very first press conference I wanted us to be relentless with and without the ball. I think, again, we've grown that as the season's gone on. Ultimately, I want us to be horrible to play against. I want our fans to enjoy watching our team. I want it to be a team that I would like watching, and I would love to come and watch every Saturday or Thursday evening. Yeah, I just like us watching. I like what we are, I like what we represent, and I want to keep pushing that.
Well, you say you want to be horrible to play against. Mikel Arteta said it was like going into a washing machine, so I think you might have achieved that goal. You're into the top 7 on merit. What would it mean for you to lead this team into Europe?
Yeah, it would mean a lot, obviously. We've a long way to go. You know, we've run a really good run. We discussed the last 10 games before this game and how that would look compared to Arsenal, and we were right up there. Points tally, performances, set the bar really high. Like I said, we've continued to grow as the season's gone on. There's another 12 left, and I'd love us to push to another level.
Thanks for joining us live. We'll see you on Monday for another spin cycle.
Yeah, thank you.
Keith.
Sam Matface there with Keith Andrews. What a job he's done, I have to say. Unbelievable stuff.
Joey, he really is. He has stunned me. I think a lot of people how brilliant he has been.
Yeah.
And he's been around football. Everyone in football's been around it all their lives, right?
Mhm.
We know him. He
Yeah.
worked at talkSPORT.
Good player, no?
He's a very humble, well-spoken, very well-mannered guy.
Feels like he's got something about him, though. He's got an edge.
But when you see his team play, and I like the fact that he said we want to be horrible play against. I like that.
Yeah.
I want to be that horrible because he was that kind of midfielder, right?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He was a horrible player. You played against him, right?
Yeah.
He must have been horrible to play against
Yeah, he
because
was,
he'd
yeah.
stick his foot in.
Yeah.
He was wholehearted, full of energy, stick his foot in, give everything for the cause.
Yeah.
His team reflect him
How he
as a
played.
player.
Yeah, they do.
And I've got to tell you, mate, he is. He won't win Manager of the Year, but he should be in the conversation.
Yeah, if they carry on doing what they're doing, for sure. Let's go to Heathrow. Rich, the Arsenal fan. All right, Rich?
All right, Rich.
How are you, boys? All right?
All right, matey. How you feeling?
Rich, you sound a bit unhappy, mate.
No, I'm all right.
Sure?
All right. I'm unhappy that you lot keep, like you're saying, we've got points. Or, look, we got another point. We're 4 points clear, right? I think we got Wolves to play in about 3 or 4 days' time. If we beat Wolves, which we should do, we'll be 7 points clear. And then it's catch up again. I am 1,000,000,000% certain we will win the league. And all this business about being worried about, I mean, that last bloke, George, no wonder he cycles there. Anyone that's not confident we're going to win the league shouldn't support Arsenal. We are going to win the league. And it's not because...
It's getting a bit iffy, though, mate. It's getting a bit nervy.
Look, you two, when are you ever right? And
it's been known to be right quite a lot.
It's a long time since I spoke to you.
Where you been?
Once again, Chelsea got a new manager. Yeah. You're looking for another manager, right?
Just say, and you're going to bottle the Premier League like you always do.
Well, how much do you want to have with me? If you're that confident about City, pull it up, son. I have it with us.
Rich.
Yeah.
You sound a bit worried, and when you refer to Chelsea,
I'm not worried, Jason. I'm certainly not worried.
No, I'm just saying you sound it. You might not be, but you sound it. That's what I'm saying. I'm probably wrong. Right, I'm probably wrong.
I'm not worried at all.
I'm just saying you sound it. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
No, well, you can sound like you two sound sensible, but
I think you got to win the title, right? I hope I'm wrong, but I've said that.
Thank you.
Right now, you ain't got nothing for me. I think you got to win it. But when you refer to Chelsea, please say Club World Champions.
Club World Champions and European champions, and it sticks in my throat. Yeah. I'd rather win. Honestly, I'd rather win the Champions League than the Premier League because. You lot have won it. We've never won it.
Twice.
In my throat. Yeah, you've won it twice. Well done. You won it twice.
When you mention Tottenham, can you say Europa League champions, please?
It's just who we are, mate.
I just can't even listen. I can't even mention you lot. I mean, you lot. It's like you just go back.
Look, you can't help yourself. You're right. It's all right doing it.
Now he sounds worried.
Yeah, he's just so bitter.
You were on yesterday saying you'd like to have Harry Redknapp back. You're going back through the twilight zone. You're going backwards, right? Never forward.
Listen,
Arsenal are going to win. Arsenal are going to win the league.
Yeah.
They're also going to win the League Cup. They'll beat City in the League Cup. Right. All these other scenarios, right? Yeah. I've got to say it, and I'll back them. And anyone, you included, that think we're going to bottle it, pull it up, and I'll lay you whatever you want.
Well, look, I hope I'm wrong, but I think you're going to win it. I've said it. But to be fair, though, I've said it the last 3 seasons, Rich. And you're making me look a bit of a fool, you lot.
Well, listen, if we haven't won it, if we don't won it at the end of the season, I'll come back on, and you lot can give it to me big time.
Don't worry about that, Rich.
Whinge and Cringe Set Piece FC.
Sorry, win what?
Whinge and Cringe Set Piece FC.
Oh, I've had all that with you with OG this and whatever it is. We're 4 points clear.
Yep.
We're 4 points clear. This league is the maddest league I can remember. I mean, Burnley ain't scored 3 goals away from home all season. They scored 3 in 6 minutes. Leeds, what they done to you the other night after what we've done to them, you can't legislate. You can't legislate for this league, right? But what I can say is, this league is so bad, Arsenal have got to win it. Otherwise, we'll never win it. We will win it, end of. And we'll win something else to go with it.
I feel like you've thrown it away, though, mate. You could have been miles ahead.
Yeah, we should have been.
Just 2 wins in the last 6.
No, but can I just say that? You say that, but
No,
we
it's
should have
true.
only been, we should have only been miles clear. If you look at that little run that Man City had, you have a look at that look, and you couldn't have it on your mind. The same thing with Villa, right? That's how it's gone this league this year. We will win it. We've got the running to win it.
Sound a bit worried, Rich. You do. You're not as convincing. No, you're not as convincing as I thought you'd be, mate.
How convincing do you
No,
want
it just,
me to be?
It
just sounds like you're holding a little bit back.
Seems a bit of doubt in there,
Okay,
Rich, in my opinion.
Okay, here's what I want you to say, Rich. Here's what I want you to say, right? Well done, Arsenal. We are the best side in the country, champions for 2026. I want to hear you say that.
Well done, Arsenal. Well, by far the best team of 2026.
Yeah.
We will win the league.
No, say we won it.
Yeah, we've won it.
No, I mean, that's a bit more convincing than he was.
And anybody that says different, pull it up. I'll have it with you. Yeah. How much do you want?
No, I'm fearing you're right, mate. I'm fearing you're right.
I don't know. Not convinced, mate. I'm not convinced.
Okay, here's a question, Jay. Are we calling back at the end of May, getting back on and letting
100%.
Conversation?
Yeah, we're having this convo. Yeah.
Are we? Yeah. And they're going to finish what? Where are they going to finish?
Second. Rich, thanks for your call. Keep them coming in. Loads to go at. Arsenal fans, you convinced? Got to talk about Eze as well. I haven't even asked the question to Arsenal fans yet. Been a bit of a myth this season. 03 717 223344. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus with gambler.org.
In the 2 high-profile times when I've accused anyone of racism or sexism, a High Court has agreed with me. A parliamentary committee has agreed with me. So, and I've got reams of evidence.
Oh, absolutely.
Of
You're
people
talking about Mark Sampson and Joey Barton.
Right, but the point is, I'm not the
But that's
person.
the extreme end of the equation, isn't it?
What is the point?
No, but
Go on,
my
Eddie.
point is, that's also replicated online. So there's reams and reams of evidence of people online.
But you did it to me. You told me.
apologise for
No,
that
I don't have a
because
problem with it
yeah.
because it's your opinion. You said to me about me that I'm a sexist.
No,
and I
didn't.
don't think
said-
I am. I think I have a strident
didn't say that.
opinion.
said
I have a
think
daughter.
I think you pander to an audience.
Yeah, and that in itself
I think you
could be considered to be something that people would I could be robust in my rejection of it. It's your opinion. You're entitled to it,
Well, I think-
and I like you should do. I only take the value of a people's opinion from someone whose opinion I respect.
Yeah.
Your opinion isn't relevant to me, and my opinion to some extent shouldn't be relevant to you. And if you are strong in the views that you have, I admire you for having the strength of them. But everything that you seem to portray in life seems to be that every disadvantage that you have is because either you're a woman or because you're black, and it's got nothing to do with your contribution to the equation and the way that people perceive
Well, no,
you.
I'll always take responsibility if I think I've done something wrong. I'm the first person to apologise if I think, oh, I shouldn't have said that or that went the wrong way. You can find multiple examples of me apologising, but there is a reality that I do suffer sometimes a disadvantage because people abuse me for my identity. They don't actually focus on, I don't think she's a good person or good pundit because of X, Y, Z. They go into attacking your identity. Those are 2 different things.
This is the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. We're going to be discussing a bit of Tottenham and Thomas Frank. Been a huge night of Premier League action live on the talkSPORT network. Arsenal missed a chance to restore the 6-point lead at the top of the Premier League. Sam Matterface was watching for talkSPORT and has just spoke with Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta.
When you reflect on the game and the number of chances that both teams had really late on in the match, how do you see the overall result and performance?
Well, the game had periods, the first 10-15 minutes that we weren't very accurate, and we lacked certain composure to play a bit more through them. After that, we started to dominate the game much better and generated with a lot of territory, good situation without having clear-cut chances. The second half, I thought we started phenomenal. The rhythm, the pace, the intent. But again, we lacked some more shots on targets and finishing more actions. We scored the goal and we were in total control. And after that, we started to give it away. We lacked certain discipline not to give free kicks away, because the moment you push somebody a little bit, the keeper is going to come in, or he's going to put it in the channel. They push you. You want to clear it, you put it for a throw-in, and then the nightmare starts, because it can be a goal or it can be a corner and another throw-in, and you start into that washing machine, and they are exceptional at doing that. And we concede a goal, which we are really upset about it, but we have to give credit to them for why they do it. And then, as you said, the game started to be more open. We had 2 massive counters. They had 1 big chance as well with Igor. And then Martinelli has the opportunity to win it, and unfortunately we didn't put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, you talked about the fact that you only had a couple of shots on target in the whole game. What was the reason for that, in your opinion?
Well, it's great to them as well. They block certain things. We lack certain, obviously, composure to finish those actions a little bit better.
You talked about those long throws, those set pieces they toss into the box. It feels like you're in a washing machine, you said. How do you prepare for that?
Well, we prepare, try to prevent all that, but they are really good at that. At the end, it's about volume. They want to create volume and opportunities in those areas to try to punish you, and merit to them, because they do it really well.
I mean, it's 2 points that you haven't picked up tonight, but it is a point gained as well. The season was never going to go incredibly smooth and seamlessly without bumps in the road, but how do you ensure that everybody stays up despite the fact that you've dropped points tonight?
The same that we've done for 7 months. We know still how much we have to play, how tough it is for every team to win, and to win in places like this. So just carry on, left it, and now we have another competition at the weekend.
Mikel Arteta there with Sam Matterface. Let's go to Ollie's Arsenal fan. All right, Ols?
Ollie.
Hi guys, you all right?
All right. How you feeling?
Yeah, down in the dumps.
Really?
Why in the dumps? That's quite a big expression, that.
Weeks ago, driving up to Forest and the old man, I'm sat there thinking, he said, we're going to win today. I said, no, we ain't, because Arsenal don't capitalise when they've got a chance. Simple as that.
What's that banging? What's that banging?
Windscreen one going mad. I'm driving back.
Have you got a wiper on it? Put it on again. Put it on again.
No,
go on, just put it on. I want to hear it. Put it on.
Go
on. Put it on.
Yes, sir.
You can't hear it now.
Banging now. Yeah, he ain't put it on. There's no way he's put it on. No way.
Ollie, do you think you got the mentality to win this Premier League? Because that's my concern. Not that I care, but I think that if I'm going to look at it, Man City have done it.
Honestly, I don't think we do. I think I've said it since January. I don't think much has changed. I don't think elite players who technically are really good at football don't have the winning mentality when it comes to it.
So you're going to bottle it again? Is that what you think?
Yeah, I think we will, sadly. Not to be negative, but just being a realist.
Well, you can't get any more negative.
Yeah, but it's just what's changed in 4 years? I don't get. Nothing has changed from the first time.
Well, I mean, look, I hope you're right, but I see Arsenal in a very different light. Look, it's a disappointing result. It's not a disaster. You know, going to Brentford and dropping points, that's not a disaster. You're 4 points ahead of City, right? Your goal difference is tight, but you've got it. Yours is. There's the bees again.
But this would have been a great result if you beat Liverpool at home and you beat Forest away.
No, but no one wins the title like that.
Well, Man City do.
It should do. City have only just rocked up the last 2-3 weeks, and they're probably going to go on this run now where they don't slip up to the end of the year. We saw it in 23-24.
That's because they got the mentality.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't think we've got the mentality to do it. And there's nothing.
So you're going to bottle it?
Yeah, I think we will. I don't think. I don't know. I do think the cup final will be a big difference.
agree with
I think they need to win something. If they win that, then something might change. We might go on a run of our own. But unfortunately, I don't see anything coming like that. Big players need to step up, and they're not stepping
What
up.
about Eze, Ollie? Because it gets dragged again. We ain't playing well for you this season, and he's a talented player.
He is. But what he needs to understand is now he's not at Palace, where what he's doing was amazing. But now you need to come in and do it from the get-go. And I think he will become a good signing. I think it'll be a very good signing. But there's a lot that he needs to understand from the start. I don't know if he's got that. If he's got that in him right now, but then again, you bring on Odegaard in the first 15 minutes. He changed the game. We scored the goal because of him. He looked mustard, and then he went quiet again. And then why our number 10s in there marking from their long throws? I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. I don't know what he's doing with the flick on there.
Ollie, put your windscreen wiper on again. Just put it one more time. Let's hear it.
No, it's not raining no more where I am. We're all right. We're in the clear.
Listen, mate, thanks for your call. Arsenal fans want to hear from you. A few disappointed faces. Doesn't sound too happy with the performance. Do you think it's... Listen,
I know it's disappointing.
It's not a terrible result, but
it's not a disaster.
But it wasn't a good performance.
No, it wasn't. But you've got to give Brentford credit. This is always... Sometimes we're so... we get so wrapped up in the big clubs, right? Arsenal go there, right? When they take the lead, you go, right, this is what teams do. But I think we've got to give Brentford credit. Brentford, tonight, outplayed them. They were the better side on the pitch. Over the 90 minutes. Arsenal had their moments, Brentford had theirs. When they went 1-1, it only looked like one side was going to win. And that would work. That would concern me a little bit if I was an Arsenal fan. But Brentford has shown they're a tough place to go.
I know, but this season...
It's a tough place to go, mate.
Yeah, but I've seen this performance from Arsenal a lot this season where they're not amazing, but they've won 1-0 or they win 2-1.
Yeah.
And I said, eventually that might come back and bite them in the backside. You know, and tonight it has, right?
That's fair.
And who's to say it won't happen next week? Who's to say it won't happen the week after?
They've got Wolves next week.
Yeah, I know. But
They've got FA Cup, but they've got Wolves.
Yeah, but then they've got Tottenham, all right? And Tottenham... Form goes out the window. We know that one.
It doesn't go out the window.
Form goes out the window.
Mate, they've got FA
big
Cup,
statement
right?
win.
Then they've got Wolves, and they've got...
We Spurs, this is all... Look, the Premier League writes its own stories.
They're going to put you lot in the bottom three.
Premier League writes its own stories, right?
Yeah.
Spurs are going to derail Arsenal's season.
Mind you, we rock up their place, going to give a good slapping. Slap. Slap, slap, slap. Slap. Slap, slap, slap.
Keep your calls coming in. 03717 22 33 44.
Slap, slap, slap. Mo, what happened yesterday?
Cundy.
What happened yesterday?
Cundy, listen.
What happened?
Cundy.
Mo, what happened?
Listen. We still gonna go we still can do the double candy. The cups.
Now, what happened yesterday though? What happened yesterday?
To win.
Mo, what happened yesterday?
Yes, what is on? Listen, yesterday's game, like I said, I don't want to talk about it, Candy.
No, I don't want to talk about it. No, that's what we're talking about.
What is on? Listen, we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about tomorrow's match.
No. Here's what we're talking about. What happened yesterday?
Candy.
Yep.
Candy.
Yep.
Come on, Candy.
What happened yesterday?
Candy, listen.
Yeah, what happened yesterday, man?
I've said this all the time to you, every single time. I keep repeating myself. Liverpool have been done by VAR so many times. It's unreal.
You lost
the
2-1.
referee was shocking, Candy.
You lost 2-1.
And do you know what? Candy? Yesterday, it wasn't a surprise to me. It wasn't a surprise. I mean, our team turned up in the second half. We were just absolutely superb. The boys were absolutely superb.
You conceded 2 goals.
Candy, what are you on about now? Candy.
Mo, you conceded 2.
Listen, Jimmy G, you can't say anything, yeah? you cannot talk. You got no room to talk.
You can't be blaming VAR, mate. You can't be blaming VAR.
I mean, Jimmy G, listen, your captain got sent off. He just done it deliberately.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, a man called Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped that most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money. But instead of entering the league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. And it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil. And the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed, they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest football teams in Brazil. Now, they were global superstars, and despite not being professional, Corinthians drew in the crowds. Everybody wanted to play them, everybody wanted to watch them. So much so, they regularly played the winners of the FA Cup in what eventually became the Community Shield, winning most of the time. They actually inflicted Manchester United's worst defeat, 11-3, a record which still stands to this day. Now, fast forward to today, Corinthian Casuals still don't pay their staff or players. The ethos of sportsmanship is still at the heart of everything that they do. And even though they're a side in the lower leagues, if you make the trip to King George's Field in Tolworth just off the A3, you'll most likely bump into Brazilian Corinthians fans who often make the pilgrimage across the globe just to watch their founding team play.
You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, and Jason Cundy. We've got a special Valentine's midnight train coming up. But first, speaking on the Overlap Stick to Football podcast, and Postecoglou criticised Tottenham's transfer strategy while claiming his former side are not a big club in the wake of Thomas Frank's sacking.
You know, when you walk into Tottenham, what you see everywhere is to dare is to do. It's everywhere. And yet, their actions are almost the antithesis of that. Right. It's a real curious in terms of understanding what are they trying to build. You know, what are they? Is it? There's obviously they've built an unbelievable stadium, unbelievable training facilities. But when you look at the expenditure, particularly in their wages structure, they're not a big club. I saw that because when we were trying to sign players, we weren't in the market for those players. It's just who we are, mate.
Oh my God! To dare is to do. What do you lot do? You do nothing. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, look.
What do you do? What do you do? Do you dare?
Well, we're not doing.
Do you dare? And then once you've dared, do you do doing?
Well, we're not doing it at the moment, are we?
Are you daring?
Well, we dared, and we won the Europa League.
And are you still doing it?
No. But I'm so sick of talking about Tottenham. I mean, look.
It's your job.
No, I know, but it's just like,
it's not my fault, is it?
Ex-manager coming on.
Don't start having a pop at me.
It was absolutely garbage in the Premier League. All right, he won the Europa League, but he got a 0% win ratio in the Premier League at Nottingham Forest. Didn't want to mention that on Stick to Football, did he? So,
what do you mean?
Well, it's very easy to come out and start saying this and that. Like, I agree with some of the stuff that he's going on about signing players and getting big players over the line, but maybe they didn't want to play for him. Just, And I tell you what as well, you know what annoyed me? I see Richarlison retweet.
Is he doing the chicken?
He retweeted something that he said about being a big club. And is
it the picture of the chicken?
And that's my problem a little bit with Spurs at the minute. And we talked about it the other night about champagne footballers. You've got Richarlison. You've got Romero coming out, digging out the board. You've got Richarlison retweeting the ex-manager's stuff about saying they're not a big club when it comes to, signing players. Richarlison has been absolutely garbage. It's been the worst £60 million we spent, along with, others that we've done. But he's up there, one of the worst signings.
He does a good pigeon, though, mate. He does.
And he's at the football club. And he's retweeting or whatever he's put on his Instagram story.
Do you know what he's good at?
About an ex-manager digging the club out. It's like, come on.
No, Richarlison, don't.
You're meant to be in a dogfight here with players that we need, and you're all sitting there making excuses. All of them making excuses. All of them.
No,
and Postecoglou making excuses.
But he loves celebrating a goal that doesn't count by giving a good old pigeon.
Listen, I agree with Ange Postecoglou and some of the things he had to say.
Felt a bit sorry for him there,
No, I didn't.
Didn't feel a bit sorry for him?
Well, why would I feel sorry for him?
I don't know. It's like he's seen to dare is to do, and he must look then gone, we can dare here, are we? There's no daring, no doing.
We won the Europa League.
What are you doing now?
Well, we're in the Champions League knockout stages.
Look at league table, mate. It's not a lot of daring going on, mate.
No, that is not good. But he was part of that problem.
I tell you what, daring.
Finished 17th
Here's
last
the
season.
thing. You're daring to go down to the Championship. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're daring there.
I hear you.
Good daring.
There was a lot of things that he said I agreed with, but there's also some other stuff where it's, deflecting from the fact that, his performances as a manager weren't good enough as well. Let's go back to some calls. I want to go to Nick. He's a Brentford fan. All right, Nick?
All right, Nick.
All right, boys. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right,
pretty
Nick.
much gone from tonight.
Yeah,
Up the beast.
Well played tonight. Brilliant.
Yeah, so Cundy, this is the second time I've ever rung up talkSPORT, and I rang up 7 years ago.
Why 7? Hold on. Are you telling me this is the first time in 7 years?
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
Where you
I'm
been?
always too nervous to ring.
Where you been?
Always
Why?
just a bit nervous, mate.
Okay,
it's
we'll
quite
treat
a big
it
thing
with
coming on live radio. But
Go on then, matey. Go on, take
yeah,
it.
I rang you, right, and I said after a championship win on a Tuesday night, I said I have a dream, and that dream is Brentford will win at the Bernabeu 4-0 one day. And you all laughed at me, to be fair. It was an outrageous comment.
Still laughing
I'm
at
telling you now.
Probably why you
I'm
didn't
telling
find
you
out since.
You know what? But Brentford are seen, right, as this, lovely club, lovely little club, good fans. And but I tell you, we're going in the Champions League, boys.
You're not.
The likes of Chelsea and all that.
But you're not.
Yeah, but we are. But we are.
No, but you're not.
There's nobody stopping us now, boys. Leroy Rosinia, was it Leroy? What's his name? Can't even remember now. But,
No, you got it right first time, actually.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
You got it right first time.
Terrible manager. Chelsea on the way down. But, boys, we're going in and we're going to Real Madrid next year.
Yeah, you're not. But, look, fair play to Brentford. He's done a great job.
Why not?
Well, because you're not. Because you're not good enough to get in the Champions League.
But why not? Why not?
Well, because you're not. Because you're just not good enough. I like your optimism, and it's great to have that. But you're not good enough to get Champions League football.
So,
you might get Europa Conference League.
Hold on. We've beaten Liverpool at home this year. We've beaten United at home this year. We've got a draw tonight against a team that seems to win every week. You know, we're beating the big teams. We went to Chelsea the other week. I'll tell you what, we should have turned them over. We absolutely outplayed them. How they won 2-0, I don't know.
Yeah, the score was 2-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 2-0. But honestly,
do you remember who managed Chelsea that day?
You know, sorry?
Remember who managed Chelsea that day?
Yeah, I was there, mate.
Yeah. Never seen
You know, like, but I'm telling you, boys, we're going to Champions
Nick,
League.
listen, here's the thing, Nick, right? You're having a great season, right? And you phoned up 7 years ago. Obviously, I don't remember your phone call, right? And I don't disbelieve you at all.
Yeah,
but,
no.
No, I believe you. I believe you phoned up. But you can, Jay's right, you can get European football. There is no, I'm looking at the league table. When you play 26 games and you are where you are absolutely in the hunt. There is no doubt about it. But Brentford are never going to be in the Champions League.
But could I just say, might not be you boys particularly, but everyone was saying we're getting relegated this year.
I thought you'd be right up against it.
I'd be up against it, Nick.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I agree,
you sold Mbuemo, sold Wissa, the manager left.
I agree. Yeah,
and there was a lot of people who were saying that, and fair play to them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shows how well the football clubs run.
Absolutely, but what stops us, right, from going 6th or 7th to 4th or 5th? You know what I mean? We're talking about fine margins now, boys. We're knocking on that door.
No.
You can knock on the door, mate, but I don't think anyone.
It's great to have optimism like that. That's what football's about. It's about having dreams. It's about looking up, not looking down, right? And having a purpose about every game. Can we go and win this? Can we get a point that can get us closer? The problem with Brentford is every now and then they throw in a stinker. He's right. I was at the bridge that day. They should have got someone out that game. The 2-0 scoreline was a travesty. We were not 2 goals better than them. We simply weren't. But that's the sort of moments in games you go, how can they find a way not to get beat? If they'd come back 2-2 or 1-1 out of that game, no one would have complained. I just don't. They're Brentford. I don't want to, well played. I mean, they're doing brilliantly.
No, they're having a great season.
They're not going to muscle in on Champions League. They're not.
No,
they're not.
No, they're not. Of course they're not.
I just can't.
But they can have a great season and get the Europa Conference League. The Europa Conference League, for me, is there for teams like Brentford.
They're 4 points. I agree. They're 4 points behind Chelsea, right? We're in 5th. And that might carry up.
I know, but...
So they're... Yes, but it's 4 points. It's not like it's 8.
No. I mean, listen.
Dream.
You can dream. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. Why not? Let's go to Ash, who's an Arsenal fan. All right, Ash?
All right, Ash.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm all right, Ash. How do you feel about that tonight?
I don't know. I think in the end that was a good point. I think City won that the weekend with that result against Liverpool.
What do you mean? Well, they won the league?
I just think that was such a big statement win. You saw the players at the end of the game. They believed after that.
Well, I hear you. I said to Cundy, I was like, there are certain moments in the season.
No, that was the week before.
Yeah.
Not this week. Fulham was.
No, Fulham was yesterday.
Fulham was during the week.
Weekend, that's what I'm saying.
Against Liverpool.
Yeah, no, but they played 2 games. Yeah, it was a massive game at the weekend that they won.
Yeah, of course. But when you said
sorry, guys, excuse me. First time caller. Sorry, go easy on me. Sorry.
No. I'm just trying to get the timeline right because.
Was it the weekend, Jace?
What's that?
The Liverpool game. That's what he's talking about. Are you all right?
Yeah, when City beat
Liverpool the weekend.
Yes, sorry, the weekend. Sorry, they played Fulham this midweek.
Last night.
Yes, sorry. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Frank's gone to mud.
No, it's right.
If they'd lost that game.
No, you're right. Sorry, my bad.
I was the title.
Yes. No, you're right. It was the weekend.
If they lost that game, they lost the title.
It was. Yeah, you're right. No, I was just piecing the games together thinking, but Man City beat Fulham. It was this midweek. No, you're absolutely 100% right. But I know. Mate, this is what happens. Games come thick and fast. Watch every game. But...
No, Jace, I just think that gave them the belief. I think if Arsenal got 9 points clear there, I think done dusted. A lot of the pundits said done dusted.
The win. I know what you mean. The
way they won that and the way you saw the players at the end, and everyone goes on about Arsenal over-celebrating all that. Their players just run over at the end. They were.
They know they're in a fight now. They know you're in a fight, and Arsenal were. I want to say you haven't let it slip yet because you're still 4 points top. You have got to go to the Etihad, but you can't put in too many more performances of that. That's actually tonight. I was disappointed in Arsenal in terms of the performance. I didn't think you was good enough.
Are you delighted?
No, but of course I am. But in terms of a neutral watching the game, as an Arsenal, Arsenal fans will be disappointed with the way that game went. I don't think you were particularly any good.
I think if Liverpool had done what they nearly did the weekend, that wouldn't have mattered tonight. And I completely agree. Like City last night, 3-0 up after 35, 40 minutes. That's it, job done.
Mind you, the North London derby, right? Because Spurs going to be manager. We don't. I mean,
it's tasty.
Are you a little bit worried, Ash?
I've had my head on my shoulders the whole year, and
you've had your head on your shoulders the whole year.
No, but as Wenger used to say, until it's mathematically impossible, I would not believe. Because of what's happened the last 3 years, I will never ever get carried away.
All right, Ash.
Do you know what I'm amazed at is how Rich is the only one that's come on. Heathrow Rich is the only Arsenal fan that's come on that actually
convinced
shows real confidence. Probably there does feel.
I don't know if he is.
Well, he did. He come and said, right. I just wonder whether and Mark over there, Tech Ops, right? He's a gooner, right?
Yeah.
Mate, honestly, it looks like they got beat 4-0.
Yeah, man. When I walked in here,
Chin's on the floor.
He was done. He was gone. He was gone. I had to pick him up. I had to give him a hug.
And look, you're getting all the gooners. I want to hear from a gooner now, like Heathrow Rich, who comes on and says, no, it wasn't brilliant, didn't get beat, it's a good point. It ain't a bad point. Listen, all of a sudden, you look at us, we went there, we were 1-0 down, 2-1 up, we drew, almost identical goal, 2-2 at the end of the game, right? Then they got the equal, same goal. I come away, they're gutting. Now you're going, maybe it ain't a bad result, actually, one, for team where Chelsea are, drawing away at Brentford. Maybe not a bad result. They got your mob, they got Wolves in between. Mate, that feels like 6 points. If they don't come away with 6 points, then we can have that conversation.
All right. Keep the calls coming in. 03717 22 33 44.
Legendary retired referee Dermot Gallagher joins us here on the show. How are we, Dermot?
Hi, Majestic. Hi, Al.
Hi, Dermot.
Listen, let's just get your thoughts off that straight off the bat. We don't want to ask you no questions. You're the ref. Tell us what you saw.
I have to say, I get what Alan says, and I think lots and lots of people will say, you know, give the goal. It keeps 11 against 11. It keeps everybody happy. But when you look at it, there's no doubt whatsoever Szoboszlai is fouled, and by Haaland fouling him, he will argue that stopped him clearing the ball off the line. But you go back, the only reason Szoboszlai gets that far back is because he actually hauls Haaland back. That's the first foul. So I don't think I think Craig has tried to play advantage because he thinks it'll be a goal.
Definitely, Dermot. He's played advantage, isn't he?
Yeah, he's played advantage, and bear in mind, Al, that he can always bring that back if it goes wrong. So
but if you go to the second part, right, where Haaland fouls him, right, but the ball's got in the net. So why didn't he play advantage there as well?
Well, he can't play an advantage for foul on Szoboszlai, can he? Because if the ball's in the net, the game, it's terminated, isn't it? That moves over. But if you actually look, that ball's not in the net when he pulls Szoboszlai back. And the problem there, Al, is that once
don't you think he see that, Dermot? Don't you think he see the first incident, right? And he's played on. Yeah. He's seen the second incident. He must have seen it. It was fairly obvious. And he still give a goal. That was the on-field decision, wasn't it?
The on-field decision was goal. That's correct. So all I can presume is he hasn't picked up the foul on Szoboszlai.
No, I don't see that. I think what's happened is VAR or the official in the VAR room has picked up the second incident and said to him,
It's me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, giving you the sports bar and talk sports still to come. We've got a midnight train. A Valentine's midnight
It's a
train.
special. Valentine's special. Phone up, right? You might have a few issues. You might have, a couple of decisions to make. Which one? Do you make?
I need some help, mate. Organising some stuff.
Come and speak to two very experienced men.
Yeah, just help us out. Valentine's midnight train coming up. But let's get the latest odds on the FA Cup weekend in association with talkSPORT Bet.
Did you think that the Super Bowl would get such a thumping up against the Premier League offering of Liverpool, Manchester City? I thought it would be much, much closer. You're talking about a difference of 500 million.
You are. But you're talking about, I've had this argument with Brian T. Smith, who comes in here, who I very much like, and makes the case that the Champions League final, I'd say, dwarfs the Super Bowl, and he makes his argument about scale. It makes my argument. Of course it makes my argument. But then you have to look back underneath it and say, this is a worldwide global audience that's watching the Premier League, watching arguably the biggest game in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And you've got multitude of broadcast deals around the world for a global sport. Ostensibly, despite inroads into various countries where you've had the NFL on tour and it's made its way into Germany and it's made its way into Poland and it's made its way into the UK, it's a North American sport. And so I'd be fascinated to see, outside of the North American broadcasting numbers, how many of the 220 million people that watched it were outside of North America.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to wager you that clearly it's obvious because the population of this country is only 70 million, that 90%, 95% of the people that watched the Premier League game between Liverpool and Man City was around the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And when the NFL gets its act together, which it's trying to do, and makes this a global sport, and makes it a participation sport and a viewing sport in all the four-flung corners of the globe, it'll have numbers that are substantial. And 220 million people watching it, if I'm right in my thinking, 90% of that will be in North America. That's 50% of the population of America, North America, watching a sports contest.
You are listening to the Sports One talkSPORT with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Apologies.
Yeah.
It says here a few technical difficulties.
No, there's not.
Absolute load of garbage. Marco, the Arsenal fan, who is on the buttons tonight, pressed the brake button again. Shambles.
Honestly,
from him out there.
Do you know what? That
sums up Arsenal.
Sums up where Arsenal are.
Yeah.
Making mistakes, panicking, pressing the wrong buttons.
Yeah, they're all over the gap.
They are.
Absolute.
That sums up where Arsenal are now. There's no technical. The only technical issue is Marco on the buttons.
Yeah, and he's an Arsenal fan. So apologies, everyone out there who just had to listen to two breaks. But that means that we can go till 2:45. So here we go. Let's look ahead to the FA Cup weekend in association with talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Stay on the ball with our safer gambling tools. Find out more at talksportbet.com. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
done,
Marco.
Well
done, matey.
Press the right button there,
Well
mate. Well done.
Good
Good
work.
job.
Excellent work. Well done. Sorry about that, Rhino.
All right, Rhino.
Nah, you're all good. Well done, Marco. That was really good, mate. You don't want to go for the hat trick, no? Shambles.
Shambles.
I'm trying to go to bed over here.
They're rattled, mate. They're rattled, these Arsenal
What
fans.
is going
Ed's
on?
gone. Ed's gone.
He's absolutely gone. He's, sorry, mate. I've hit the ad button by mistake. I know. I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, look, we're going to get to some calls as well, but let's get into some of the some of the games at the weekend. Villa versus Newcastle, Saturday. It's live on talkSPORT.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's an incredible game. This one, isn't it? It is an incredible game, and
Great game.
It's a very, very difficult one to call. It's one of the few Premier League clashes, of course. And only 3 weeks ago, these two faced off as well. Villa, it was that came out 2-0 on top at St James's. Villa actually one of the few sides that benefited from everyone else's results as well on the weekend, because United dropped points. Obviously, Chelsea did as well. It made their 1-0 win even sweeter. Now I can say, obviously, Newcastle were the final nail in the coffin for Thomas Frank, the hypothetical coffin that is. But they're the outsiders away from home, as you'd expect. They're 19-10, Jay, to beat Villa. Now, Villa are the favourites. They're just over evens as of right now. I think we can expect that. I don't think anyone's going to be too shocked about that. And the draw's 13-5. Well, who's been scoring for the Villa then? It was own goal on the weekend. Own goal. He's a good player, isn't he? Own goal.
Good player,
he's a good player.
Yeah, Chelsea tried to sign him a couple of times.
Yeah. No, I know they have. They've tried to sign a few people, to be fair. But, yeah, I thought he played for Arsenal as well. But we can go through a few names here. It's difficult with Villa. I'm going to look at Morgan Rogers, anytime goal scorer. He's priced at 17-10. From a Newcastle perspective, I mean, Bruno Gomes, I'm a big fan of his. I think he's going to be in amongst it. 5-6 to be carded. That's a booster from talkSPORT Bet. But you can look at a goal from midfield in Newcastle's squad. 21-10 anytime, Bruno, if you want a Newcastle bias bet builder. I'm going to look at Villa to win, both teams to score. It's a booster at 14-5, lads.
Ryan, there's only two all Premier League ties, actually, in the next round of the FA Cup. The other one is Liverpool. They take on Brighton. Brighton knocked your mob out earlier in the competition. Look, this is a tough game. Both teams will rotate. What are the odds saying?
Yeah, and it was a slender win on the weekend for Liverpool, but a win nonetheless. I think that's the most important thing, yeah. And Sunderland's first defeat at home all season, so it does go to show that was tough, and they've done something that no one's achieved. Brighton are on a bit of a bad run, aren't they? The situation's in a great one. They've only won 1 in 13 in the league, man. That's 6 losses and 6 draws in there, so they're on a bit of a barren run. So I'm not gonna shock you, Jace. Liverpool are favourites, odds-on favourites at 1-2. Brighton are 4-1. 4-1 right now to beat Liverpool, and that'll be on their 12th try, because they haven't beat Liverpool at Anfield in 11 games. So it is quite the mountain to climb. Now, a draw's 130 as well, if you fancy that. You're going to have to get creative, in my opinion, for this one, because Liverpool are odds on. A Liverpool win and both teams to score is boosted. I'll always look at that, to be fair. But on this occasion, Liverpool to win 0 is screaming out to me a bit more when you consider that Brighton haven't scored in their last 2. That's 9-4. It's not a boosted price, it's as is. I'll lean to Liverpool to win 0. You can look at Wirtz. He certainly stepped things up at the turn of the year. 13-5 to get an assist. That's not bad. And Ekitike, his odds on at 7-10. Right. But if you're doing a Liverpool bet builder, Jace, you've got to fancy him at home. So okay. I'd be putting him in as well.
Okay. What about the FA Cup outrights?
Yeah, well, it's as it stands, Manchester City are the favourites to win the FA Cup. They are 3-1. Then it's Arsenal that follows them at 7-2. And then joint third in the betting is Liverpool and Chelsea at 6-1. You can look at your Villas, 12-1. Obviously, we know Villa and Newcastle, 12-1. Then Newcastle at 16-1. But as of right now, Arsenal fans, after the night they've had, I'm sorry to say, is City that are favourites at the moment. But I'm just going to say, lads, the Premier League outrights are perhaps more interesting.
Is it changing?
I've pivoted, didn't I? Haven't I pivoted?
No, we like it. We like it.
Do you know what? Because I had to sit through that whole break. I'm just going to go rogue a little bit. Arsenal 1-3 favourites. They're still odds-on favourites to win the Premier League. Manchester City is still 9-4. You can still get something back on Manchester City to win the league. If you are subscribing to the narrative, Arsenal between now and the end of the season could bottle it. That might be the way to go. So I just want to throw that one in there, boys.
Okay. All right. Rhino, you're a star, mate.
Rhino.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend,
lads. You too, man.
That was a look at the latest odds. Thanks to talkSPORT Bet. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambler.org.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Stay on the ball with our safer gambling tools. Find out more at talksportbet.com. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Well done. Hit the right button again, Marco. Well done.
Well done, mate. Well
Good work.
Done.
He's improving.
He's getting there.
You're only as good as your last ad break.
Let's get back to some calls. Go to Harrison. He's an Arsenal fan. Harrison.
All right.
You all right, boys?
I'm all right. How you feeling after tonight?
What? You know what's doing my nutting about social media right now is like everyone's jumping on this Odegaard hype train. Arsenal going to bottle it. But in that midfield. The fact he's there after the Forest game and 0-0, saying that it's always effing this.
Hold on.
But if you look at him when he's taking the ball down the field, and you compare him to someone who's like Xhaka, okay, he's not as good as Declan Rice, but you notice how he pinged that ball that second earlier, and we get put in positions where he looks good because he made a challenge when on the counter, but in reality, 30 seconds before, Declan Rice could have put us 2-0 up. And it was the same in a lot of other games I've noticed this season.
But you're not having Declan Rice?
No, I'm not saying he's not good, but I'm just saying everyone's jumping on this Odegaard hype train. Like, he's this, he's that, it was his fault for this, our captain this. But I'm sorry, Declan Rice he's not getting looked at for his performances. We've dipped, but no one's looking at Declan Rice as well. He's just as big a part of the problem, When Xhaka and Partey were in that midfield, Martinelli and Saka...
I'm stunned at this phone call.
Why?
I think Declan Rice has been your best player.
I thought...
But this is the point, though. We're talking levels above what we should be. Now, if you tell me this current team, for the current defence, I think our best point has been our defence this season. You put Xhaka and Partey into this midfield in that 22-23 season, we're doing a hell of a lot better than we are now. There's no cohesion between Zubimendi and Declan Rice. And whoever's floating between Cam as a, diamond when he came in, Odegaard, Haaaaas, who's just come back, who's done really well, but we all know what he can do. But Declan Rice's indecisiveness, it costs us games. It does cost us goals.
Okay, you're talking about the chance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about his performance, though?
This does happen quite a lot. I remember it at City.
But that's a part of his game that he's not really... Declan Rice will chip in with goals. You're talking about where he should hit the ball instead of passing it, right?
Well, I think anything, shooting or passing, a second or two earlier, or taking...
Declan Rice ain't on the pitch to score you goals, though, really, is he? Declan Rice is on the pitch to dictate the tempo of the game, break up late, anticipate danger.
Immense.
He's been unbelievable.
He's been immense. I'm stunned that this is your go-to.
No, I'm not saying that he's the heart of the problem, but I'm just saying everyone overlooks him as if he's...
I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's not part of an issue.
But I'm sorry. You look at Man United. Those two goals we conceded.
Honestly, this is amazing. Arsenal fans you're imploding. You're now talking about Declan Rice, who's been one of, and he may well, I think he's in the running for maybe player of the season.
No, I disagree on that one.
You don't think he's in the running?
I disagree because in key moments, you look at City players. Okay, I don't think on paper that team is anywhere near as good, but you look at their moments when they smell blood. People switch on, and that's what the best players do. But you look at Man United at home.
Okay, give me a player that you're talking about, so I can relate to it.
What do you mean? What someone that switches on and takes things by the takes the game
a City player that's done it this season that's been better than Declan Rice.
But this is the thing. This is Pep's team. One player does it every time.
Oh, you're worried.
Yeah, every time they smell blood.
This is it. This phone call absolutely sums up where Arsenal fans are. They're phoning up, having a pop at Declan Rice.
I find that unbelievable.
No, again, I'm not saying that he's the heart of the problem. I think there's a lot of other problems, but I'm just saying I don't think that people are actually looking at his game for what it is. He is leaking in the midfield sometimes. Okay, he's great. We're top of the league. But if we were 8th, would you not be looking at his game a bit different?
But you're not 8th.
Yes.
You're top. By 4 points.
What do you mean if we were 8th?
Okay, we're top by 4 points. We're top by 4 points. But look at the run we've got coming up next. And you tell me that we could have been so much clearer. At Nottingham Forest, we leaked. It was so bad. We could have even lost that game. At Man United, poor midfield battles once again, and we lost. And those 2 goals came from Dorgu when he ran through. No marking from Zubimendi or Rice because they don't work together as a team. Nottingham Forest.
Okay, all right. You told your opinion. I just wonder what Arsenal fans think of that. That would not be my go-to. Arsenal didn't play well tonight. They didn't. They've not been brilliant recently, actually. They might have been getting away with that a little bit. Mate, you're not going to be brilliant all season. You're not.
Declan Rice has been outrageous.
Mate, honestly, there were parts of tonight's game where you go, Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
He made
Wow.
he made a block, which was where he anticipated danger.
He does, yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
He's box to box, mate.
Ah,
He's been immense. For
Rolls Royce.
It's so unfair.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be aiming any criticism at him.
I'd love to Arsenal. There might
I'd be
be
looking
Arsenal
at. I
fans
would be looking at Odegaard. I'd be looking at Eze. I'd be looking at Gyökeres. I'd be looking at Saka.
There's other places to go before you
Martinelli. You know, there are other places you can go
that's-
to before you start thinking out.
Look, we're not
Declan
Arsenal
Rice.
fans. That's not fair.
No.
That is simply not fair.
Let's go to Harry's Arsenal fan. H.
All right, H.
How we doing, boys?
What do you think of the last comment we just had there, Harry?
Listen, I mean, I'm one of the Arsenal fans that think we're still going to win the league, right? But I think he's on to the point. Everyone has to be held accountable to some point, you know? Declan Rice, for me, alongside Gabriel, they are the players of the year. Currently, you know, they are up there for the Arsenal team. They are where we are, why we are, you know? But I think a couple of goals we've conceded this season, he has been at fault for them. But does that mean, you know, he's the reason why? No. I think tonight, right, you could, with Arsenal, my dad always says, within the first 3 minutes, you can tell whether Arsenal are going to be rubbish or good. You know, when they start moving passes about. Today, when Raya gave that ball away, and it wasn't Rice's fault that we lost it, and Raya had to pull out a save, it was Raya's fault. At that point, I went, you know what, we might have to settle for a point here, because other teams have lost, and taking a point and keeping a 4-point gap is going to be better than leaving with nothing. Okay. So that's sort of how I see it. But I don't, listen, 4 points is still a good position to be in. We play on Wednesday, we beat Wolves, you're back to 7 points, you know, and then it's on City to beat Newcastle. So it's all in the air, but I think we'll come through towards the end of the season.
All right. Hey, listen, thanks for your call. I'm going to rattle through a few. Let's go to Alan, who's a Man City fan. All right, Al?
Yes, good evening. I've got a little song for you at the end for the Arsenal fans as well. But do you know what, Arsenal? Man City are a snake, and they've had their foot on our necks where we've been weak, and they should have cut our heads off and buried us in the sand, and they've not. And now we're going to come back and beat them, and we're going to win this title. And in a couple of weeks after we play them at the Etihad, when we give them a footballing lesson, you can ring me up and I'll come on the show again, because Man City are a better team to watch than what Arsenal are. And he's coming on. The Premier League trophy's coming back to the Etihad. And listening to these Arsenal fans tonight, we are right in there, Ned. All the memories of all the years previous are all coming flooding back. And we're going to win the league. And I'll give you my song now.
Go on.
Is it clean?
Crumbling again, ole, ole. Crumbling again, ole, ole. Crumbling again. Crumbling again. Crumbling again, ole, ole. Can't wait to sing that.
All right, Al. Listen, Man City fans are. If they're listening to the show tonight, Man City fans, I think they'll be thinking.
Do you know what it does do, though?
Tell you what.
It gives us. We have got a proper title race.
Yeah.
A proper title race. It's not a bad point for Arsenal. I still don't think Man City are quite the Man City that we've seen win a title.
No, but
they could do. They could.
They look all right. They're looking all right. You know, Diaz, Gay at the back again. O'Reilly, fantastic. Nunes has played all right.
Mate.
Rodri, you know, mate.
I'm not. Look,
you know, they've signed Semenyo, Haaland scoring, Foden.
Arsenal can't throw it away from here. They can't. I don't know if they can, mate.
Mate, I'm telling you now, they are in trouble.
Okay, all right.
Let's go to Johnny. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, John.
Johnny boy.
Boys, how are you? Good?
You all right?
All right.
Speak some sense, Johnny boy.
I listened to our first Arsenal caller, and if I'm being honest, I just thought cloud music. Like, for me, I'm 29. Like, my first memory was back in '06 Champions League final. Arsenal were a big club. Like, where we've gone from and where we're going to is massive. We've drawn away at Brentford. That's not a bad result at all. And the issue is with Arsenal, I go to a lot of matches, is the nervousness in the stadium. Just keep calm and composed. That's how we're going to win the league. And that's how I see it. It's just a lot of Arsenal fans are just panicking, and we don't need to panic. We're 4 points clear. For me, the deciding match is the Arsenal-Man City game. And then after that, it's a 5-game running. They've got Everton away, Bournemouth away, and we go from there. So that's how I see it. Like, a bit of clarity for once. I'm not a deluded Arsenal fan. One of my best mates is a Man City fan. I watch all the games with him pretty much, and we have these chats, and it's...
Well, how's he feel?
Football. And honestly, he's very much like me. We're proper football fans through and through. We just love watching football, and it's the best team will win.
And there's no point being nervous. And the City fan before, like, cool, yeah, you've won the trophies in the past 10, 15 years, and not going to go into that, but Arsenal fans should need to stay positive, and, like, we're 4 points clear, and we're top of the league at the minute. Let's go from there and leave it to
Marco, press the right button. Well done, Marco. Yeah, there is. Are you feeling it, though? Are you feeling this? I mean, it's really interesting having so many Arsenal fans come on and how pessimistic the vast majority are. You know, you're not, but generally, are you surprised that they are as vocal the way they are?
I do find it surprising. When Arteta came in 4 or 5 years ago, and we lost away to Brentford, and we had an absolute nightmare. But I think where we're coming in 5 years, like, it's absolutely incredible, the job that we've done and the team we've built, and to sit there and...
But are you surprised the Gooners are feeling the way they are, though? Are you surprised the Gooners are feeling...
I'm very surprised. Like, it's coming. It's going to happen.
There needs to be a little bit more accepting.
It's just be positive.
Yeah, this Premier League is...
All right, Johnny, thanks for your call.
You've got to win it. You have to go and win it. No one's going to give it to you. There are going to be bumps in the road.
Yeah.
There always is. You know, Arsenal aren't going to walk away with it.
No.
They're going to have to fight for it.
They were walking away with it, and they keep...
Well, that 9-point lead that the previous caller made when Man City scored those 2 late goals against Liverpool, that was like 9 points, and then it's gone down to 6. And now tonight, after they beat Fulham midweek, I understand the nervousness, but if I was a Gooner, after watching Man City against Liverpool, I come away from that game thinking, yeah, they've got the win. I don't know whether that team's good enough to win the title.
Let's go to Massive Dave. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, Dave?
All right, Massive Dave.
How's it going, guys?
All right. Are you massive?
Well, pretty big. 265 in pounds. So yeah, you know, not too bad.
How many pounds?
Not too bad. 265.
He's massive. Yeah, he's big.
Yeah, big guy.
He's
massive, Dave.
Yeah,
Okay.
a couple of bigs.
Yeah,
he didn't even comment.
Put you
nothing.
right on your backside.
£265.
Yeah.
A pure protein.
Yeah. Muscle.
Pure muscle, mate.
Right, go on it, Massive Dave. What do you want to say?
Go on, then, let's talk about Arsenal.
Yeah, these Arsenal fans are a bit irritating. I think what it is, they've got PTSD, and I understand why, because we've come so close for the past, 3 years. Second place, great. But it feels like a different season. Like, we're obviously competing on 4 fronts. We've got the League Cup final coming through. We've got the FA Cup. You know, we're going to put them aside. We've got Wolves coming up, and then obviously we've got 2 other big games. The Tottenham one, which I'm not really worried about. Chelsea one's, Club World Cup champions.
Yeah, well done, thank you.
We'll put aside as well. Yeah, you know, I respect. So, you know, we'll put them aside as well. So, you know what I mean? So I think they just need to just calm down a little bit. It's just irritating hearing all this back and forth about players not paying their way. I understand. I think Eze must be going through something. I don't know, but
that's the one.
It's February. Like the no cup is won in
You
February.
know the problem with Eze is look, I really think he's a talented footballer. And I said this last season when I watched him at Palace. He's a great footballer. He ended the season really strong, maybe because he knew he probably had a move up his sleeve. But he's a bit of a drifter. You know, he is a bit of a luxury player. He can produce moments in games. But in this Arteta squad and in his team, every single player has a role to play, and it is a structured side. And I feel like he's just not the right fit for this Arteta team. He's a player who drifts in and out of a game. He'll produce a magic moment, and then he might go missing for 10 minutes, you know? But you can't do that with Arsenal. We can't have it. And that's why he keeps getting dragged.
Yeah. I feel like he needs to have one of those roles where, like you said, just come in and drift in, maybe trying to attack the game, and everybody's just on the pitch, like, you know, we're trying to chase
I don't know whether Arteta's got that role in his team. I think Jay's right. I don't see that role. Arteta does not have space for someone that can just be that player. There may well be games, you know, and I don't see many of those coming up between now and the end of the season, to be honest with you, but there may well be a game where you go away to a side where you got to break them down. They sit in a low block. We're going to see plenty of the ball. You know, Brentford don't do that. Brentford will come for you. Brentford will work hard. They'll match you. For hard work, industry, desire, all of those things you need. And he just seems...
I think he looked a bit nervous to make a mistake. I think he had a freedom at Crystal Palace where he knew he was the best player. He could, you know, drift out of a game, but when he got the ball, he'd go and make something happen. If he give it away, give it away. But I don't know if at Arsenal, you give the ball away, you get scrutinised. You can't give the ball away.
No.
You know, so I think he's a little bit nervous to really express himself. The talent's there, we know that. We've all seen it. I think he needs to take the shackles off a little bit, and he needs to do more in the game because he can't. Really and truthfully, he's had a poor season. He might win a Premier League title, but for me, you know, the standard that he's got, he hasn't been good enough. Right, we're going to move on. We've got some back pages. We're going to hear from Thomas Tuchel. He's been speaking to talkSPORT today. We've also got a Valentine's midnight train. Help us out for that one. That's coming on in 15 minutes. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT.
See the Eagles. Simon Jordan. Mark Bright. Can you hear me, Brighton? Your boys took with a little beating on the Glasner. Wilfred Zaha. Ian Imo. Can you hear me, Imo? Your boys took with a little beat the signs things from behind Sellers Park. Mark Gay. Eddie the Eagle. Pards. Can you hear me, Pards? Your boys took with a little beating. James in between us. South Croydon train station. Brighty. Salako. Can you hear me, Eagles? You're Mr. Win. Hello, meeting.
Tons of Premier League action to get through tonight, all live across the talkSPORT network. Liverpool have just become the first team to win the Stadium of Light this season. The quad is on. Palace absolute shambles. They've just thrown away a massive 3 points against Burnley. There's one win in 14 games. Wow, ridiculous from Glasner. Forest had to win tonight, and they didn't. Informed West Ham just 3 points behind you. You must be worried. Could Sean Dyche get the sack? Man City get the pressure up on Arsenal. Big win for them. Phil Foden, no. Probably should have got sent off. Thomas Frank is gone. Finally, Spurs have 11 days now to prepare to stop Arsenal's title challenge. Who comes in? Get involved in the show. 03 717 22 33 44.
What is on?
Hello, mate.
Yo.
How are you?
I'm all right, matey. Your club disgracing the Premier League again.
Well,
honestly,
let's not go.
You lot. It's just. Mate, honestly, it's like, but it's a bunch of clowns. Here we go.
You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. Still to come. We've got a midnight train, Jace. Just let everyone know what we're doing.
George, this is... Go on, turn it up. So it's a midnight train special. It's a Valentine's Day special. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. Phone up and speak to two very experienced men. And anything you want, some advice. You might want to ask where to go. Some planning. You know, what you do when you get home. You know, how you approach the the rest of the evening.
You need some recommendations.
Yeah, there you go. Right. All of that. It's a Valentine's Day special. as from midnight. About 15 minutes time.
Okay, Thomas Tuchel has been speaking to talkSPORT's Angelina Kelly in Brussels at the 2026-27 Nations League draw. He revealed that contract talks with the FA started the moment England qualified for the World Cup.
Well, there was full focus on the qualification process, of course, and the main reasons why I took the job in the first place was the group of players. I wanted to be close to this group of players. I wanted to coach this amazing group of players, and the second one was the trust and the support from the federation from the start. And these things only grew stronger, especially then in the qualification campaign. And then we started talking after the qualifications. The FA wanted to commit for 2 more years. I wanted to commit and was happy to commit for 2 more years and complete the full cycle of 2 tournaments. So this is what we do now.
Yeah, fair play to him. Now it's time for this.
JC?
Yeah, Jack Cunningham joins us for some back pages. Obviously, that is one of the big talking points, Jack, on the Times. Tuchel signs up until 2028 with England. Good decision, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's come out of nowhere, to be fair, and there was no real indication that this was going to happen. I mean, let's be fair, when we talked about Tuchel being appointed as England manager, the whole idea was that it was kind of win the World Cup and then assess it from there and move on, either if it hasn't worked out or potentially extend if it does work out. Now, it feels as if having him sign the new contracts already, yes, he's a world-class manager, etc., and like so far it's been nothing wrong. I mean, lost to Senegal in a friendly, but apart from that, perfect qualification campaign, no real complaints. I just think that, like, I don't know, I feel like the whole point of him was he was coming at the World Cup to win the World Cup, and then I guess he was assessed from there. Like, I don't really know why we're doing it now. One thing I think is potentially it's because of the Manchester United talk. I think it's a good way of quieting that down, isn't it? You know, if you just say
I think there's
it's
gonna,
locked in.
Well, there's going to be teams in the summer who will be looking for a new manager, and Thomas Tuchel is going to be on every top manager's, top club's list. And I think he's done a good campaign. All right, he's not judged on that, but he's probably the best manager we could have. So why would you not want to try and keep him? In my opinion, we could try and win the World Cup. We might get to the semi-final. We get knocked out, whatever. I think I'd still want Thomas Tuchel there as the manager. We're not going to have an absolute stinker, right? It's just not going to happen. We've got too many good players. And he is a top manager.
I'm more impressed the fact that he is excited. I wonder whether this was a bit of a stopgap for him. And my concern was, this is an 18-month contract. He was out of work. It kind of was convenient for both parties. But the fact that he is, and you just heard what he said there about, actually, they started talking to him about once we qualified, that he was always going to qualify. That this was a no-brainer. He was always going to qualify. But he is the best man that right now that we could have. And of course, there's going to be concerns from the FA that his contract expires. He does good stuff in the World Cup, and I'm encouraged the fact that he is excited about this group of players. You said the group of players about 3 or 4 times, but that's the bit that I'm really excited about. That he wants to be here.
Yeah, I think that's good, to be fair, because I think if you look at maybe some of the other jobs he's been in, there's always been a lot of problems with internal politics, etc. I guess with the FA, he hasn't got to worry about transfers or anything like that, has he? He's got the team that he's got. He's going to pick the best team that he thinks will win the World Cup. I think we've already seen that he's not afraid to drop some of the so-called bigger names, I guess, because he's literally just picking what 11 he thinks is going to be the one that will win England the World Cup. In terms of a tournament manager, his record in tournaments is absolutely top draw. So I am confident that we can go into the World Cup and feel that we can win it. I just think that maybe with the new contract now, I'm not sure on the timing, but equally, I totally understand your points.
Yeah, there have been managers before that signed contracts, gone into tournaments, and had a stinker. And we've looked back and gone, was that the right decision? So, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah. Back page of the Mirror. FA ready to probe Ratcliffe.
Yeah, Ratcliffe's comments on sort of immigration and calling the country full of migrants, etc. It's gone down pretty poorly today. Understandably so, I think. Manchester United released their own statement, which you don't really see very often. They didn't specifically say anything about Ratcliffe's comments, but what they said in the statement was that this is a club built on, its diversity, etc. Basically, essentially Manchester United calling out the co-owner of the club, essentially, without naming him. That was what that, and the FA are now going to investigate it as well, because they think it's brought the game into disrepute. So that's what the investigation is over that, because of obviously the connections that we have with football and the diversity that we have in English football is what makes it so brilliant. If you look at the England national football team, you know, we have people from like backgrounds all over the world, which is what makes it so special. And look, these comments were not wise. He's not even really apologised. He said, "I'm sorry if you were offended for it," which is just pathetic. That's not an apology. So, like, ultimately, he's a guy who's come in. He had big ideas about what he wanted to do at Manchester United. I think now we're at a point where most of the fan base don't like him. Actively dislike him, to be honest, and I think that things like this are not gonna help him at all.
Raheem Sterling has joined Dutch club final till the end of the season. Free agent Sterling goes Dutch, as the bet page of the Sun.
Yeah, look, I really like this move. I really like this move because I think that Sterling could have maybe ended up joining a team who were maybe in the Champions League, where he's going to kind of be expected to come in and deliver sort of immediately, in the sense of like we're competing at the top of European football or competing at the top of their respective leagues. So we think with like Napoli, etc. But I really like this move to him to not abandon all of his ego, etc., and move to Feyenoord, play under Robin van Persie, which is brilliant. You know, he used to play against him, and now he's going to be his manager. I love that. I think that's a great story. And look, I am absolutely rooting for Raheem Sterling. In terms of like as a bloke and like what's happened to him at Chelsea, it didn't work out for him at Chelsea. It's really a shame that it didn't work out for him at Chelsea. It's nice that now he's got another football club to go play football, prove how good he is. He's got a deal until the end of the season. I'm sure he'll absolutely rip it up, to be fair, once he gets his match fitness back. Let's just see how he does. You know, I can't imagine anyone's begrudging him for getting this move. I think it's brilliant.
No. Okay. What's on the back page of the talkSPORT website?
Yeah, Arsenal. So, I mean, you've been talking about it all night. But, yeah, look, I mean, Brentford deserved to win, to be honest. I thought Brentford were excellent. Really, really good performance. Igor Thiago missed some massive opportunities. Yeah, Arsenal had some okay chances, but you could see that there's just something not quite right. I mean, I was watching Victor Gyökeres up front, and the guy, I mean, his touch most of the time was so bad. The ball they're playing up to him, and it's coming off him like a trampoline. And then, you know, they bring on, you know, Eze, just looking like he's not, for whatever reason, struggling as well. They bring on Odegaard. They weren't much better with Odegaard on the pitch either. Put it this way, I think the title race is going to go a lot further than maybe we all thought it was going to a couple of months ago. I think that we're in a position now whereby Arsenal aren't at the level that they were. Manchester City is starting to click into gear a little bit, and that game at the Etihad is looking bigger and bigger as each game passes by. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's a tasty one. All right, Jack, thank you, mate.
No worries, lads. Have a great weekend.
All right, right, up next, it is a Valentine's midnight train. Help us out, guys. This only works if you get involved. Bit of advice, some recommendations, tell us some stories. 03 717 22 33 You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus. We go on, Red Dog.